All right, so we've talked about this UFC card this weekend. We talked about the GOAT status of John Jones and Khabib and possibly George St. Pierre. We talked about Khabib possibly not retiring. These are all serious fights. These are all real, authentic, professional level fights. But as you guys know at this point, we also covered the YouTube boxing, the YouTube entertainment fighting. So a couple weeks ago, we covered a lot of the Jake Paul sparring footage and how he had been beating up on guys that had never fought before and never boxed before, and how he was really proud of it and doing the Iverson step over and all this other stuff. And he's preparing for a fight against Nate Robinson. Again, shocking, another guy that has never boxed before. But you know how Jake Paul does, man. He picks some easy fights and, makes that money and skates out like he's a tough guy. But today, I thought it'd be fun because you guys were so interested in my opinions on Jake Paul, and it was controversial for me to say that he's not a great boxer, which is, I don't know how that's controversial. It's a fact. He's not a great boxer. He's a good amateur boxer, but he's not a great professional boxer because he's not a professional boxer. No matter what he tells you guys or how many times he gets licensed, he's not a professional. But I thought it'd be interesting to talk about his opponent, which, again, to Jake Paul's credit, I think he's going to walk right through Nate Robinson. I think he's going to hurt Nate Robinson badly because, again, Nate's never boxed. Jake has about 2 years of experience doing this. But neither here nor there. Let's take a look at Nate Robinson's sparring footage, training footage, to see if there's anything I'm missing. There's maybe I'm missing something. Maybe the athletic ability of a guy that was projected to go in the NFL as a cornerback, ended up playing NBA basketball for, I think, 9-10 years with different teams, 2-time slam dunk champion. Nate Robinson is a phenomenal athlete, so maybe I'm missing something. We talked about Greg Hardy a second ago in the UFC being a guy that gravitated to the sport very quickly and started to pick up things quicker than normal people do because of his high level athleticism. Maybe Nate is doing that. Maybe I'm not seeing something in the Nate camp. Maybe he does have a shot. Maybe. But let's take a look, see what we got. All right, so this is Nate Robinson's channel. He is doing a vlog series leading up to the fight, and we're going to see exactly what he's doing. Again, there's not a lot of footage out there on Nate, and that's probably for a good reason. I don't think he wants to have a lot of footage out there on him right now. It kind of gives Jake another thing to think about, even though I don't think it's going to terribly matter for a guy that just started to train boxing months ago to get in a ring and try to box a guy that's been doing it for a couple of years. There's going to be a talent level and a skill gap there, and possibly even a cardio gap, just because fight shape is so different from football and basketball. It's different. Fight shape, until you get in there and do it multiple times, it's really hard to get used to. So I don't know if this is going to matter, but let's take a look at some of Nate's training footage. I don't know if he has any sparring out at all, which I don't think he does, but we'll see. Nate doing a little shadow boxing, moving around a little bit, working the uppercuts. Hands are somewhat high, working the speed bag. Not very fast on the speed bag, but that's to be expected for a guy that's new. He's not supposed to be good at the speed bag. He's brand new doing this. And again, this isn't me giving excuses. I want you guys to know as he shadow boxes here, this is not me giving excuses to a guy like Nate Robinson before the fight starts to be like, oh, this is why he lost. This is just a fact. When you're new at a sport, you're not going to be good at it right off the bat. Some people are. Some people are naturally talented and they grasp it a little quicker, but he's not going to be good right off the bat. And to expect him to be, even just because he was an NBA basketball player or a high-level football player, is absolute garbage. It makes no sense. It's a different sport completely. But again, I'm interested to see the gaps that he can make up in such a short amount of time. How quickly can he grow in this sport? Working the uppercuts, just little light stuff here. All right, we got COVID-19 safety protocols. Nice. Spraying it into the air, and then a couple sprays down. Okay, here we go. Moving around, and 1, 2. Hands stay a little high, which is good. I like that the hands are staying high. Nice jab. Again, not a lot to be seen here. This is a lot of pad work, but we get to see how Nate moves a little bit. Let's see how he adjusts. Can he fight moving backward? Can he punch moving backward? Can he throw combinations clean? And can he do it without thinking? That's going to be the biggest issue. Is there's not going to be a pad guy out there on fight night, right? There's not going to be someone out there for Nate to go, oh, I messed up my combination. Let's do it again. No, he misses, and Jake's going to make him pay for it. I've told you guys this. Jake is not a bad amateur boxer, but he's also not a great boxer. What's going to give Jake an advantage here is experience Obviously, size is going to be a big issue with Nate taking shots. I don't know if Nate has been sparring. We haven't seen a lot of that footage. I'm sure he has. But taking the shots off a bigger guy, I think Jake weighs in around, 200, 205 pounds. They're fighting at a catch weight, I'm thinking. It's going to be different. And you're not going to have time to think about how do I throw my combinations or how do I hit this guy, because Jake's going to be all over him. We've seen that. He comes out fast, and he comes out and takes center of the ring really quickly in his fights. So for Nate, it's going to have to be a longevity and getting Jake's respect early, whether it's with the jab. We've seen Jake kind of not be able to move his head off the center line when he throws. He just kind of puts his head out there and throws the jab and doesn't respect anybody that he fights, for good reason, because most of the guys he fights have never boxed. Why would he respect him? Power, speed, nothing. He doesn't respect any of it. So Jake fights just like that. But for Nate, it's going to be basically, can I use my speed? Can I use my agility to even the playing field where my skills are lacking, right? Can I get out of the way of these big shots and make Jake pay for them? That's where the fight is going to have to be turned if you're a Nate Robinson fan, because he has the speed and agility to move around the ring, but does he know how to? That was nice little movement there. I like that. Although I don't like the head looking directly at the floor when he slips. I don't like that when he rolls under punches. But that's just again somebody that's a little newer. But I like his movement a lot. I know this is a drill in which they're making Nate move around, and he knows where he's supposed to be. But I love the ability of just this chain of movement right here. Him stepping between shots and then following up. Hands stay high. He's learning. I don't know if the time frame is going to be there, because just the stuff that he can't learn in such a short time, or the stuff that Jake's already picked up on and started to implement into his game, right? One is the ability to just fight for however, I don't know if they're going 6, 7 rounds, 10 rounds, I don't know. The ability to fight for that long. And you can see here with Nate, the hook doesn't look bad, right? See, the hooks look nice. What doesn't is this, right? So this is what Daniel Cormier calls taking a picture. It's admiring your work, where you throw something and you're like, damn, I hit that. That was nice. And you admire what you did, right? You admire the pop on the left hook, and the hand doesn't come back to protect, right? When he throws that out, boom, right back, right? Boom. Whereas right now it looks like, boom, here, okay, looks nice. Jake, if he's able to slip or parry or whatever on this hook, roll under it, he's going to be there for a counter right hand right on Nate's chin. Because we've seen Jake can move. He can move and he finds ways to pivot off that front foot, land some big shots. He definitely can. So this is what you can't do. You can't get it. You can't fall in love with your technique if you hit Jake with something. And I don't expect him to hit Jake with a lot, at least a lot that's going to hurt him. But if he does, this is what you can't fall into. Again, I don't know why these fighters are Philly shelling. But I mean, in slow motion doesn't look bad, but he's hitting pads. I don't know what the point is of this to Philly shell, because he's trying to slip the jab, right? Come with the uppercut underneath it. We saw Logan hit KSI with that same uppercut. I don't think that is the best method for an amateur boxer, someone's doing this for the first time, to implement a Philly shell. Trying to show him, coach looks like he's wanting to show him the pull right hand. Runs in, boom, hook. Boom, hook, push off, right hand. He's got some work to do. Nate wants to move his feet like a DB. He wants to move his feet like a guy guarding someone in basketball, where he shuffles those feet. See how it takes time, guys. It takes time, and he's just not there yet. And that right there is why this is going to be trouble for Nate. He's not there yet. He's just not at the point where he understands how to move in a boxing ring without thinking about it. How to counter off shots without thinking about it. And that's not his fault. He's just not been doing this for very long. So I saw a lot of what I expected to see there from Nate Robinson, which is a guy that's learning the box. Now, pros for Nate, he's very quick. He showed some basic understanding there of movement and how to throw some shots, and didn't look terrible throwing them against the pads, albeit. I don't think we have any sparring footage of him, and that's probably for good reason, like I said. So yeah, I don't expect the outcome of this fight to be any different. I think Jake goes in there and hurts this guy badly, unfortunately. And the reason I say that is because Nate's been boxing for months, like 2, 3, 4 months. Should not be competing in any kind of professional bout against a guy that's been training for 2, 3 years. It just doesn't make any sense. And again, this is perfect for Jake because he fights another guy that's never fought. And of course, he's going to win the fight because that's what Jake Paul does. He takes very easy shortcuts against guys that have never fought before to win in fights he's supposed to win. Now, we know the guys at the Lego Mansion, they're not going to let poor Jakey, the problem child, get hurt by any real fighters because when he's not boxing, he's rapping. He's got a rap career. He's spitting them bars. He throws the grill in, albeit more like aluminum foil, and the bars themselves kind of fall off. But neither here nor there. We've seen that the guys he picks to fight are for business, right? They do it because he's got successful guys in their respective industries. Deji and Gibb, good YouTubers, not athletes, had never done anything athletic at all. And he fights him, of course, on short notice, and there's not really a talent skill gap there that they're ever going to be able to overcome. And then he takes a guy that's a professional basketball player and possibly could have been a professional football player and gives him about 4 months to train for a boxing fight where he's been training for about 2.5 years. So, of course, he's taking this fight. But at the end of the day, Jake understands business. And I've always given him credit for working hard and being a great marketer of himself. And even to get into the ring at all, that deserves respect. But let's be honest here. Jake's going to go in and hurt this guy, and it's unfortunate. But I hope Nate Robinson can figure something out. I don't know why he took this fight on this short of notice. But Jake's going to hurt him. It's unfortunate. Nate Robinson looks like a guy that's just starting boxing because he's a guy that's just starting boxing. November 28th, looks like it's going to be a win for Jake Paul.